Well, my name is Amanda Czernecki. I have been now doing radio and television in Chicago for a decade. October marked my 10th year of working for a company called Radiate Media. And as you may be aware, depending on how long you've been a student here at ICB, broadcasting, whether it be radio or television, it can be a pretty fickle business where there can be a lot of merging, acquisitions. Station can flip a format and, nothing that you did wrong, but if it's going to country and you don't fit the mold. So actually, when I first started out, I graduated from North Central College, which is in Naperville, in June of 2003. And I gained employment for the company at that time. It was called Traffic Pulse. And I started October 6th, 2003. So just a few months after graduating, landed my job. North Central, it's a very small private liberal arts college, but the close proximity to Chicago with doing internships in the city, if any of you have done internships thus far or about to embark on it, you'll know that anyone knows everyone. It's a very small business. There may be people that you're working for, and then a few years down the line, they may be working for you. So anyway, an alum of where I went to school was the head of operations for this company called Traffic Pulse, which provided traffic content to Chicago radio and TV stations. Submitted my application, got an interview, started out part-time. Started out part-time as a producer, which means that you're in this room listening to all the traffic scanners, all the police and fire department chatter. You get to find out what 1020 means, what's a 1050, a 1046. That was the basis of all of my knowledge today. Learning the roads. When I would travel to work, I would take a map, study it, roads that I don't normally drive on. I started to get to know them like the back of my hand. I made myself available for any and every shift. You want me to work a morning one, then you want me to come back and work an evening, and then come back early in the morning again. That's what you do when you're first starting out. You want me to work Thanksgiving, that shift's available? Sure, do that. Christmas, definitely earn my stripes along the way. And even after 10 years of being there, I still pick up the extra shifts. Last week I was actually working split shifts in the chopper. So, for me, all of the hard work and my longevity with the company and being in this business, a lot of it has been with my willingness to say, yes, I will do that. Yes, I will do that. You will meet people along the way based on maybe how long they've been with the company, or if they're just on air, they think, this is it. I don't need to help out and do anything else. Okay, if you want to still be around in the business, you might want to reconsider that. So working part-time, started out producing, and then some fill-in shifts became available. One of our TV clients is CLTV, which is a cable-based television company. Back in the day, it was based out in Oak Brook before they merged with GN, and now they're both located at Bradley Place. The way we used to do traffic for them was we would have a connection. It would be a voice over a map. It took quite a while before I actually ever met anyone over at CLTV, all the behind-the-scenes people that I would, talk to in transmission, doing a mic check, making sure everything was okay. But a few fill-in weekend shifts became available, and, I was 22, 23. Of course you want your weekends to yourself, but I was like, well, this is my opportunity to, start being on air in Chicago. So I started, grabbing those up. Then the person that I was filling in for just decided, I don't want to work weekends anymore. Well, then Saturdays became mine. I was like, well, that's pretty cool. And then we were acquiring more radio clients, and 100.3 had just flipped from Windy 100 to a format called Love FM, which was sort of soul, R&B, and they were looking for a new traffic voice. So I submitted my demo, had been doing the part-time TV stuff, and my demo was selected. So part-time for about a year and a half of producing, gathering the traffic content for reporters, doing some weekend TV reporting, submitted my demo. About a year and a half later, I got the full-time job. companies branch off, get sold out, get bought out by different companies. Throughout the 10 years, we've been Traffic Pulse, Traffic.com, Navtech Traffic, now we're Radiate Media. I have managed to stay throughout all of those things. Throughout the years, we've been able to gain more radio and television clients. So my shift mainly Monday through Friday is 5 a.m. to 1 p.m. I do traffic for 100.3, which is sort of hits of the 80s and 90s, very upbeat. And then I do news and traffic for a station called WCPT, which is 820 AM, but they also have 3 different FM frequencies. And with that, it's good because sometimes after a while, especially with traffic, sometimes it can just feel very robotic, and there's no, doing the news and traffic for the other station, it's a nice change of pace. But I have been full-time now doing both of those stations for going on 9 years now. And then as of a year ago, I became the fill-in helicopter reporter for NBC5. I can talk about traffic till I'm blue in the face. I can tell you anything, everything. But once you are up there reporting traffic from that perspective, I felt like I was learning everything all over again. I was kind of trying to get my bearings with me. I'm like, is that 355 or is that 294? Where exactly am I? And it's very easy to pull out your phone and, look at the GPS or whatever, but I tried to figure it out myself. But the first go around, I was kind of confused. And I'm like, okay, I don't necessarily know if I'm cut out for this. But the more I was able to do it and the experience and just doing it, for me, I've been in the business now for a decade. It was a bit humbling to be up there and realizing that some of my first few reports were not very good at all. And I was pretty frustrated, but I was learning a new aspect of things. I've gotten better. If I fill in, they don't say anything about, oh, Amanda's filling in, like, maybe we should pick someone else. But yeah, last week it was fun, doing the morning show. I mean, it was a little bit lighter than normal traffic with it being the week of Christmas. But the afternoon is kind of fun because it's more of the breaking news stuff. We were over some bank robbery in Palatine a few weeks ago. It can be an extra alarm fire. It can be something Metra related. It can be, there was a Beyonce concert not all that long ago. Traffic on 290 was horrible, and so it's like whether it be a Hawks game or there's some concert or whatever, but it's just really fun to provide that aspect of things. And my mom and dad were born and raised here. My grandparents were born and raised here. If my grandparents were still around, I think they would get a kick out of the evening anchor saying, and now with a look from above, here's Amanda Czernecki in Sky 5. Like, it's, really cool. And not everyone that you meet, like some of my friends are teachers, some are accountants. I'm a traffic reporter, and, I get to see the city from a perspective that not a lot of people get to, and it's beautiful with, Facebook and Twitter. I can't help myself. I'll take my phone, and as I'm in the chopper, taking the sunrise or sunset pictures, and, it's really cool. But every day with traffic reporting, every day is different. Every hour is different. There can be, especially when the weather is bad, so many different accidents on roadways, but even if the weather's all right, it can be a very slow hour, but then the next hour there could be, something very unfortunate, like an extra alarm fire or something with Metra. And I don't know if any of you take Metra, but as you're aware, there is usually something happening every day on every single line. I take the blue line every day. There's, I even had to allow myself extra time here today because like one of the stations, the doors just kept opening and closing and opening and closing, and we were there for like a good 3 minutes, and I was like, all right. So the 10 years have gone by so quickly, and it's really exciting knowing that I've got this new aspect now of the chopper reporting. As I've progressed within my career, I'm gaining more interest in the television aspect of things, and not even necessarily the whole, on the air thing. The people that I get to talk to at NBC5, whether it be in transmission, the producers, I've really gained a good rapport with them. So, whether I was seeking some part-time work or it's just, they're good people to know, to have those references because, again, My company has gone through 4 different name changes within 10 years, whether it's being sold, bought, you know, you have no idea what the next day could bring. So I'm all about, you know, even at this point, continuing to network. Just because I've been with my company for 10 years does not guarantee me anything. You know, I bust my butt, work the split shifts, do the radio, do the TV, I do the weekend work on NBC5. You know, there are some people that do the bare minimum, and that's fine, but for myself, I want to further my career and gain those relationships with our clients so that if at some point I did need to seek out other employment, there are people that could easily recognize my name. They know my work. They know that I'm someone who is easy to talk to, easy to work with, and is willing to do A, B, C, D, and X, Y, and Z. So that's definitely the main thing as you're doing these internships, gaining those relationships with everyone, going above and beyond, getting there early, staying there late, asking if there's extra work that needs to be done. It really does make a difference, and there are people, you might not feel like it, that, you know, is anyone noticing all this extra work that I do? It does pay off.